Hey, welcome to the Ready to Lose podcast, where we look at what's going on in our brains to create the health and weight loss that we want. My name's Billy Blake, and I'm a certified life and weight loss coach determined to help women love themselves all the way to their goal. It's time to start losing weight in a way that actually feels like us and creating that healthy life that we love showing up for every single day. So tell me, are you ready to lose? Let's go. Hey, ready babes. Welcome back to the Ready to Lose podcast, where we are done with dieting and are learning to lose weight in a simple and sometimes even enjoyable way. We are really challenging that age-old story that losing weight has to be hard. We've got to be doing intense workout programs, lots of math and calorie trackers, and going to bed starving. And actually, on that note, check out our last episode, number 256, for more info about how we are challenging those old, awful ways of losing weight and that story that losing weight has to be so hard, or especially so hard for you. That is called mental weight, okay? And that is what last week's episode is all about. Because if you want to lose physical weight, you've got to drop the mental weight first. So check out episode 256, where I walk you through how to do that. Hear me out, okay? Without getting into that episode, staying here on this episode. What if it could be so much easier than that? What if losing weight really could be easy and even fun? What if there was no right or wrong way to do it, but there were simple habits that could help you really change your relationship with food? That is what we are doing here and inside Ready to Lose coaching. And it's a huge part of what we are talking about today. Because in this episode, we are talking about how to set up your space and your home to make healthy choices and healthy eating easier. We're trying to make it simple so it doesn't feel forced or inconvenient or like it takes up all your time. Because if things are easier, you are more likely to do them, right? If they feel difficult or like they're too complicated, you put them off and you avoid them. On top of that, you have habits right now that you aren't even noticing. Like, have you ever grabbed some chocolate out of the pantry and you didn't even realize you ate it until it was already gone? That's called muscle memory. And there are simple ways you can interrupt that. You can make that automatic habit less automatic. And a lot of that has to do with how your house is set up, because your home right now is set up for your old habits. If you have habits right now that you don't want to have, I guarantee your home is set up to support them. So by the end of this episode, you'll have tangible steps that you can implement immediately to make your healthy habits easier and some fun ideas for how to set up your home to keep you focused on your goals. I'm talking loads of examples in this one, okay? So buckle up for a jam-packed episode and let's get into it. Before I get started with the actual ideas, I gotta remind you to grab your Get Started guide with the link in the show notes. That guide will teach you the 4 habits that we use inside Ready to Lose coaching to lose weight. They are the same habits that I use to lose 20 pounds and keep it off, and this alone will make your weight loss journey easier. These habits work with your life, and they can be used in any situation. And that's what you really need to lose weight, right? Like, what's the point in knowing I can lose weight as long as I never go out for drinks with my friends again, or I never go out to dinner? That's literally useless. Now, I'm not saying you got to go out and get wasted with your friends. Like, a lot of health journeys include drinking less, okay? But if you want to have a beverage or an NA mocktail and an appetizer while you're out with friends and your diet doesn't allow that, you're never going to want to live a life long term where you can't say yes to hanging out with your friends or going out on a date, right? I mean, you could become a hermit for the sake of losing weight and being healthy, never go out again. But most of us do want a full life. In fact, part of your motivation for losing weight is probably so you feel confident going out on dates or going out with your friends or just going out and enjoying life. Anyway, grab your guide and dive into the Ready For habits that have helped me and hundreds of other women lose weight for the last time. And now let's get into our healthy home hacks. This first one, a weekly fridge or pantry check and organization. Before you get carried away with this one, I am not saying you have to clean out your entire pantry and fridge. I honestly don't recommend doing that, because if you have not cleaned out your pantry or your fridge in a while and you're like, okay, I've got to do that. If I want to make my healthy habits easier, you're never going to do it, right? It feels overwhelming. It feels daunting. I don't recommend doing that. You don't need to throw away all of your sweets and treats to lose weight or create control around food. But here are some reasons why this helps you with planning and healthy choices during the week. First, you need to know what food you have to be able to write a plan, which is one of our ready-to-lose habits. I cannot tell you how many times I've been talking to clients who didn't end up following their plan simply because they planned something that they ran out of or they didn't have in their fridge. So checking on a weekly basis helps you stay on top of what ingredients or foods you do have. This helps you make plans that you can stick to because you actually have those foods, or it helps you make a grocery order to get them in stock. The other reason this can help is that you can move foods around to be easily seen or accessible. If you want to be snacking on yogurt and fruit during the day, make sure the yogurt is front and center. If you typically reach for certain chocolate or chips for a snack, and you want to break that habit, move them somewhere that's less convenient. Earlier we were talking about that muscle memory. This is how you change your home to break that habit, to interrupt that muscle memory. The foods you don't want to be eating, put them way back in your pantry or in that cabinet above the fridge so that you have to get a step stool to go up and get them. This allows you to break out of your habit eating and check in on what you're doing and why. Like when you're in the process of going to grab the stool to get to that cabinet over the fridge to grab some chocolate, you might have a thought, wait, do I really need this? And you can check in and make a different choice. Whereas when they're in their typical pantry spot, you've already devoured half the bag before you realize what's happening. Basically, it breaks that muscle memory, that habit of grabbing your go-to snacks. And the same is true for the foods you want to be eating. For example, one of our clients was recently talking about how she keeps eating off-plan for her snack in the afternoon, and it happens before she can catch it. So for her, she used to always have a cheese stick as a snack after work to tide her over until dinner. To level that up, she decided to make some hard-boiled eggs, something a little higher in protein to help her feel more satisfied and also help her with muscle-building goals that she has. But when the time for a snack comes, she keeps grabbing the cheese stick. And how she said it to me, she goes, it doesn't make any sense. The eggs are right there next to the cheese sticks. I could just as easily grab the egg. When in reality, this is exactly why she keeps grabbing the cheese stick. Muscle memory kicks in and she just grabs the cheese stick. So for her, the strategy is moving the cheese stick somewhere different and making the eggs even more forefront and easy to grab. This second tip goes along with the first one a little bit, and that is pre-portioning your snacks like chips or nuts or cookies into smaller bags. This allows you to grab the serving you actually want without mindlessly devouring an entire bag. You could also do this with healthy foods to help make those choices easier, like cutting up fruits and veggies ahead of time. When you clean out your fridge and you do a grocery run, prep the things you have. So again, healthy eating is more convenient. Or when you're shopping, spend a couple extra dollars to get the prepackaged or prepped things. Allow yourself to make it easy when and where you can. There is no shame in getting pre-cut fruit. Your body literally doesn't care. And eventually, when eating the fruits and veggies feels more natural, like you're craving them, it's kind of like with water. Starting to drink water is hard. But once you start doing it, you start craving more water. You notice when you're not drinking as much water. The same is true with leveling up your foods. You notice how good you feel eating certain things and you start to crave them. So when you're loving how you feel, when you eat more fruits and veggies and you're enjoying them more, you can then cut them up yourself if you want to. But for now, let yourself get a foot in the door by making it easy where you can. Prepackaged veggies, yogurt cups, meats. Mike loves the pre-seasoned chicken from Wegmans. I don't eat meat, but this saves us time and effort and makes cooking at home almost as easy as ordering food out. Other examples could be frozen veggies or rice, those little microwave packets of rice, canned beans, frozen entrees that you can throw in the air fryer. We love our air fryer. Anything like that that's easy, you can see yourself using, especially on days where you're feeling tired and exhausted or like it's just too hard to cook. Will any of these options be listed in a women's health magazine or on a biohacking podcast? No, probably not. But if your obstacle to cooking or eating differently is that it will take too much time or effort, what if you could just make that easier? Cook at home while using some pre-made things. Our third tip is to have a designated health station. This is actually one that I stole from one of our Ready to Lose clients who's a little neurospicy like me, a little bit on the ADHD side. So this can be, let me explain it for you, what a health station can be. It can be where you write your plan for the day, where your supplements live, where your journal or self-development book is. Give yourself a space to do these things so it's easy to remember and take action on. If you have to hunt around the house for your journal, you are way less likely to write your food plan for the day. This is almost always why our Ready to Lose clients miss planning if they do. Especially when they have been so consistent for a while. They're like, I'm really getting to it. I love planning. I love doing it. I'm feeling so much more confident around food. I'm not obsessing over food all day. It saves me so much mental energy. They're loving it. But then all of a sudden they miss a few days. It is usually because their notebook got moved somewhere different and they couldn't find it, or it just messed up their routine because it wasn't where it usually is. For example, one of our clients went on a trip and she had her planner in her backpack. And then she didn't plan for 3 days after she got home because it was out of sight, out of mind. So if this is you, especially if you have some ADHD tendencies, as I do, give yourself a designated space. This could be your nightstand, a section of your dining table, your couch and coffee table, or your kitchen counter. Pick a spot and put your things there. Make it easy and convenient to show up for your habits by making them visible and easy to get to. This last one is where I'm going to fall into a bit of a trend that I do believe is worth the hype. Not all trends are worth the hype, but this one I am on board with. And I am talking about my brick, okay? Getting the brick. I got one in November and I have been using it for a few months and it really has changed my relationship with my phone, but also with my health and my habits. Because guess what? When I'm not scrolling, I naturally look for something else to do. Sometimes it's cooking or prepping veggies for the week. Sometimes it's walking my dogs or playing with them. Or it's laundry, so I have workout clothes clean and ready to go for the week. Doing a crossword or reading before bed, so I actually fall asleep instead of staying up on my phone. Does this reinforce one specific habit? No, but it can support you by giving you some time back. Because yes, I love scrolling Pinterest or Instagram once in a while, but if I actually asked myself what I wanted to do for the day, what would feel really good to get done, or how to spend my time, it's not usually scrolling my phone. That usually doesn't make the list, and yet I spend 5 to 6 hours doing it. I mean, some of that time is me working because I do work off my phone, but a lot of it's just me getting stuck on Instagram Reels. So this isn't about being anti-phone, but I feel very confident saying most of us in the current day and age in this population maybe are on our phones a little too much. So this is about giving your future self more time and energy. It's giving yourself the space to do more of the things that you want to be doing. And I do recommend the brick because there is just something about having a physical place that you have to go to unlock your phone. I have tried the screen time limits. I have tried different apps to limit me on my phone, and they're just too easy to, negate and operate through. The screen time did work for a little bit, but then it's so easy for me to hit ignore, and get right back to what I was doing. That becomes its own habit, its own muscle memory, right? So the brick being a physical place does actually help you hold that boundary, and then it is easier to not be on your phone as much and have some of that time back. These are the most common healthy home hacks that I have seen help our coaching clients and also have helped me in my own life. They have made the biggest difference for me. So I might have missed some or just didn't add them to this episode, but basically you want to be thinking about your home and whether it is reinforcing your old habits or supporting your new ones. So if you just ask yourself one question, one takeaway from this episode, let it be this: how can I make my healthy choices easier? How can you make them more obvious and more convenient than your old habits? I already have ideas of what we could do for a part 2 of this episode, so if you did love this one, let me know on Instagram at Ready to Lose Coach or leave a 5-star rating or review, and maybe a part 2 will be in our future. Also, if there are any big ones that have helped you that I totally missed, I would love to hear about them. Let's help each other while making our homes healthy little havens that support the lives we want. If you want to take this work to the next level, you gotta sign up for a free session and learn more about one-to-one coaching. In coaching, you don't just learn the hacks for building a healthy home. We do the work of creating confidence with food and creating healthy girl energy. Because yes, it's great to make healthy habits easier in our home, but you won't always be home. You will be out with friends. You will be at a birthday party, going to a coffee shop, or out for dinner. And a healthy girl knows how to make healthy choices in any of those situations. That's what will help you lose weight and stop feeling sabotaged by your life. Sign up for your free session with the link in the show notes. And until next week, remember, you've totally got this, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye! Thank you for taking time today to listen in. If this helped you at all, be sure to share it with a friend so she can stop feeling stuck and start creating the health and self-love she deserves. Or post it to social media and tag me so I can personally thank you for helping me get the message out. I am so excited to be on this journey with you. Keep showing up for you. You'll get there. Talk to you soon.